TipTut.
Hello everybody and welcome back to TipTut and welcome back to a few minutes of design. It's been a while since we've done one of these episodes, so this is a challenge where you are given a prompt on a card and you're supposed to take a few minutes to fulfill that prompt. So let's just jump right in. Look at the information on the other side of this card. How could it be understood at a glance using pictures, symbols, shapes, lines and or colours as well as words and numbers, or instead of them, make the information clear and quick to understand. So we have Elizabeth II, crowned in 1952, became the longest reigning British monarch in 2015. Then we have a shorter selection of different monarchs that reigned over Britain throughout the 13th century, 16th, 18th and 19th centuries. Okay, that's fine. What I'm assuming they want is some kind of timeline. So let's just pop that out of the way and give this page a title. A few minutes of design. I think this is episode 10 now, which is totally insane. So for me, I'm thinking this is going to be sort of like an interactive timeline mock-up for a website. It might be something similar to, if we just do a quick thumbnail, something similar to this, with a timeline of events, each with its own smaller node, like this. And once you select one of these nodes, a large amount of information would appear on that timeline. So obviously at the moment, the first timeline or the first node is selected. So let's start off with a central selection and an indicator maybe of where the user is. Then there'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. So we can just go down 1 and twice, thrice, 4 times, and that makes our 5 nodes. Now we have this node selected, but we need a smaller indicator of what is at each one of these sections. Perhaps we could alternate them either side. So this could be a small line coming out with a larger circle. And inside that larger circle, we could have a profile as detailed or as non-detailed as you like. Maybe because it's a monarch, we can give him a little crown. Like so. Which would have just the name. Like this, for example. Victoria. And we'd have this going back in time. Obviously, this is Elizabeth II, our current queen. Then we have Victoria, George, James VI, and Henry III, and they're going back in time. So this would be modern day to olden times. And we could just have their date underneath it, 1837 to 1901. Now, each of the future sections here would follow in a similar fashion with a profile and their names and information. No need to do this again in as much detail because it's clear that it is the same style of information, like so. And finally here. Like so. Now this would be, in essence, this would be non-selected information. So whatever information they have, which the user isn't currently viewing. When they hover or perhaps scroll through this website with the scrolling wheel on their mouse or by swiping on their tablet, this cursor would perhaps move. Maybe these would enlarge whenever they're reached, just to indicate that there's more information there. Perhaps they have a small button underneath one of these each time that when selected opens up the full amount of information. And I'd suggest something like, when the full amount of information is selected, the profile... No, excuse my terrible drawing here. It's hard to do this without moving the paper and keeping it under the camera lens. So apologies for that. The profile would expand. Maybe we can hide that using some magic. There we go. That's our current queen. And then the information, Elizabeth II. With her reigning dates, TBC. Then the extra information they'd like us to write would be included in perhaps a scrollable window here. Alternatively, it doesn't necessarily have to be like this. Of course, there could be several other types of designs. You could have something that drops down and then unfolds like this, for example. So you then have name, reigning time, and information, like so. Alternatively, you could flip this, go from oldest to newest. You could, instead of grouping this in a timeline which the user scrolls through, you could include a search function. Or indeed, say for example, if that was the search bar, blah, 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 you could have a row of icons representing each monarch. And when selected, the user is then pushed to that particular monarch in the timeline. So they select this and they're pushed to that particular monarch. Just some ideas, but personally, I'd go with something like that. So that's it for this time around. Thank you for sticking around this long. There's 52 of these and I've done 10. Sorry, it's been a bit slow on them. Obviously with university and everything I'm currently doing, it's been getting in the way. Hopefully I'm going to do these a bit more often because they are quite fun. There are some rubbish ones, I will admit. This one, week 8, was pretty rubbish. But this one I'm pretty happy with. You could even do a mock-up of that fully digitally if you wanted to. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. And I hopefully will see you next time on TipTut and next time on a few minutes of design.
Remember to subscribe for more tips, tricks, and tutorials. Thanks for watching.